Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel Algo Trader. As part of the initiative I took to teach basic Python to as many people as possible, considering the people from non-coding background, I am going to start the first tutorial. We'll see what is today's agenda. We see what is Python, comparing Python with other programming languages. Then we'll download and install Python 3.x on Windows 10 machine. We will also download and install Sublime Code Editor for writing our Python code. Then we will write our first Python program. We will run it and see the output on the command prompt. What is Python? Let me read this. Python is an interpreted, object-oriented, high-level programming language. Have you understood anything? Even if you don't understand anything, no problem. You don't need to understand the meaning of Python to code it. So I'll explain. Python is actually an interpreter-based language. What does it mean? If you see the earlier programming languages like C, C++, Java, these are compiler-based languages. That means you write some code, we call it a source code. We will run the compiler to convert the source code into some binary format, which will generate a binary file that is an executable file. Then we will run that executable file to start our program. So there are two steps involved: source code, convert it to binary format, then run that binary file to execute your program. But in case of interpreter, there is no intermediate step where we convert the source code into binary code. There is only one step. You can directly run the source code file, which will internally convert to binary format, and it will pass the binary code to the operating system, which will execute the code. So you don't need to run two steps to execute a program in an interpret-based language. That's why we call Python is an interpreted language. Second, it's an object-oriented programming language. What does it mean? Basically, you can write your code in the format of objects. So what is object? Object can be anything: a car, a printer, a laptop, a smartphone. What an object can have? It can have properties and behaviors. If you take car has body, engine, wheels. These are called properties. And what are the behaviors of car? It will move. It will make noise. It will emit smoke. Right? Since we can write our Python code in the form of objects and their behaviors, we call Python an object-oriented programming language. And the third is high-level programming language. What does it mean? Let us first understand what is low-level language. C is an example of low-level language. In C, you don't have much libraries or utilities to solve many complicated things. You have to write everything on your own to solve your problem. For example, to sort a list or to create some complicated project, whatever it may be. It will take a lot of time. It will take hundreds, thousands of lines just to achieve some small functionality in C. But when you come to higher level language like C++, then to Java or even Python, there are so many things readily available for you to sort a list, or let's say to shuffle thousands of numbers. You don't need to write your own logic. Readily available libraries, and you can just make use of them. There are some libraries available even to process the PDF files, process Excel files, read and write to various types of files, and processing some XML data, JSON data, etc. It's very easy in high-level programming languages. Just you call some API and your job is done. But in lower level language, you have to do so many things on your own. That's why we call Python is a high-level programming language. Now let's compare Python with other programming languages. First of all, it is a high-level programming language where there are so many libraries easily available. You can just make use of them to serve your purpose. The syntax is very easy to understand even for newbies compared to other languages like Java, C, C++, JavaScript. Since there is no compilation step in Python, right from the edit step, test and debug, it's very fast. Here the fast in the sense, not the execution speed of the program, but the time we spent on editing, then testing, then debugging is very less compared to other languages. Debugging Python program is very easy because wherever there is error, just when you run it, you'll just throw out the error and print the stack trace. So you can exactly go check the stack trace and see which file and which line the error exists. You can go to that line and debug it, fix it. It also supports exceptions so that you can just handle errors properly and move your execution flow into some other block where you need to handle the errors. Let me first install Python and Sublime Editor software from my PC before going to the next step. I'm searching control panel here. Then going to programs and install a program. Let me find Python 3.8.5 and Python 2.7.15. I have two versions of Python installed on my PC for different purposes. I'm going to install both of them. And uninstalling Python 2.7.15. Now let me search for Sublime, and I'm going to install the Sublime. Yes, now we don't have Python and Sublime on my PC. This step you don't need to do. I just want to show you how to install fresh Python and Sublime Editor again. Next, we'll download Python and install it. So the link for downloading Python is www.python.org downloads. After downloading, we'll install and then we'll check the current Python version installed to verify if the installation is proper or not. So here you can see a screenshot how to check the Python version in the command prompt. Now let's open Chrome browser. You can even search in Google, download Python. So you can click on the first link itself, that is from the official website of Python organization. Here go to downloads. You can see the latest version of Python. This is for Windows 3.9.5. Please click on it. Let's download it to downloads folder or whatever folder you prefer. Yeah, downloading done. Now let's click on it. Install now. So this is the default location it's taking. I'm going to click on it. Install now. Yes. It's being installed. Installation is successful. Let's close this. I'm also closing this. Okay. Now, how to check whether the Python is installed or not? Okay. Go to the bottom left corner of the Windows. Type cmd. You will see the command prompt here. Click on it. It will open a prompt like this. Here you can type Python --version. Python was not found. Run without arguments. Though Python is installed, it is not set in the path. That's why we are saying Python was not found. Let us fix this. Let's find the location of the Python where it is installed. I'm clicking on the folder icon here. Go to C, users. In my case, it's Srinivas username, but in your case, it's your PC username. Going to app data, local, programs, Python, and Python 39. See, here the python.exe is there. This is the one we want to be set in the path environment variable so that whenever you open the command prompt and type Python, this should be available. Let's copy this path. Copying. Now I have to set this path in the environment variable path of the system. Now come here, type env. Okay, here you see edit the system environment variables, and now click on environment variables, search for the path. Yes, and this is the path key and this is the value. Let's edit this path environment variable. There is no Python here, right? I am going to add a new path here, new. So whatever I copied, I am pasting here, right? This is C users Srinivas app data local programs Python 39. Now let's move this path to upwards. Sometimes there are some issues in Windows. It may not be detected when you open the command prompt and type Python. Better, let's move it to top of the list and then click on OK, OK, and again OK. Now let's open the command prompt. Come to the bottom left corner of the Windows, type cmd. You'll see a command prompt app here. Click on it. So it will open a window like this. We call this as command prompt. Here now you can type Python -- version. See, Python 3.9.5 is showing now. That means Python is installed, also successfully set to the path environment variable. That's why we are able to access in the command prompt. Okay. Next we'll download and install Sublime Code Editor. So the link for download for Sublime is www.sublimetext.com. After downloading and installing, when you open Sublime, it will look something like this. Okay, let's open browser and type download Sublime. So the first link is itself the official website. Click on it. Here you can see for Windows. Click on Windows. Downloading Sublime latest version 64-bit. It's being saved to downloads folder on my PC. It's downloaded. Let's click on it to install. Yes. Take a default path. Next. Next. Install. Finish. Now let's see whether Sublime installed or not. In the search bar, type Sublime. See, you can see Sublime text. Click on it. Sublime is opened. So first time you will see some change log prompt here. So just close the change prompt log. I already closed it. This is how the Sublime looks. Okay. Let's close it for now. So we install Python and Sublime. Next, we need to write our first Python program. Okay. For that, first we'll go to some drive, let's say D. You can choose your own drive, E, F, C, whatever you want, but don't create in C drive preferably, because C drive has operating system related folders and installation related things, so better not to touch it. In this demo, I am going to create the directory or folder inside D drive. Let's name it learn Python. Learn-Python. After that, we'll open the Sublime editor and open the newly created directory in Sublime editor. Okay. Then we'll create a new file main.py inside this folder from the Sublime editor, and then we'll write some sample Python code. Okay. Now let's open D drive. I'm going to create a new folder. Let's call it learn-Python. Okay. The directory is empty. There is nothing. We are going to create Python files inside this directory. Let's be this our project while practicing. Okay. Now open Sublime. Right. From here, file. Click on open folder. I'm going to open this learn Python directory. Select this learn Python and click on select folder. See, now we are inside learn Python folder, correct? We are going to practice Python inside this folder only. So now this folder is empty. We are going to create a new file, our first file inside this folder. Right click on it, click on new file. It's untitled, right? Because we have not yet saved it. I'm going to press Ctrl S. Okay. Now it's shown me the same directory, correct? Let's name it main.py. Please note, for all Python files, we use the extension .py. In Java, we use .java, and in C++, we use CPP. JavaScript.js, similar to that. In Python, we have to give the extension as .py, then save it. Now, there's nothing. Let's write our first program. Let's print. There is a system function available, print. It will be like this, type print, then inside brackets, since we are going to print some string value, so let's use inverted commas, type, let's say, welcome to Python course algo trading. I'm writing this text only for example. You can write whatever you want here, okay? I'm saving this, Ctrl S. The file is saved. We have written our first program. Now it's time to run the program. Okay. So how to run the program? We need to open the command prompt from the bottom left corner of the Windows. When you type cmd, you will see the command prompt. Then we need to go to the directory where the file is created, where the Python file is created. For that, we need to use command cd. Cd means change directory. Okay. Once we are inside our project folder of Python, then we have to run python space main.py to execute our program. Okay. Let me open command prompt by typing cmd here. Okay, we are inside command prompt. Now we need to go to the path where our Python project files are present. In this case, we created inside D drive, right? To go to D drive or any drive, you just need to type the drive letter name and colon. That's it. Enter. Now we are inside D drive. C D, correct? Here we have created folder learn Python. How to go to that directory? cd means change directory space that directory name or folder name. Okay. Now we are inside learn Python directory. To see what are the files present inside this directory, you can type dir command. That means directory listing. See, there is only one file present in this main.py, correct? Now we have to execute this Python file. How do you execute the Python file? Simple. We install Python, and Python is also available in our environment variable path, and it is accessible from our command prompt, right? We already seen in the previous slides. Now just type Python, correct? And space, give the file name which you want to execute. In our case, it's main.py. Enter. See what is printed here. Welcome to Python course algo trading. Whatever we wrote in the code, we have executed and able to see the output properly. You are done. You are able to code Python now. Great. Happy? Now let's do some more stuff in Python. In addition to printing welcome to Python course algo trading, we'll try to sum two numbers. Okay. Before summing up two numbers, we have to store the numbers in some variables. The variable name can be anything. It can be, let's say, a, some 10, okay, whatever it may be. Simplicity, I'm just taking as a equal 10, b equal 20, right? And I'm creating another variable named sum equal to a plus b. Okay. Now the Python program, when you execute the program, it will calculate a and b and store the resultant value inside some variable. When you print sum, how do you print? Sum equal to this is just text equal to this is a whole thing is a string, correct? Now I want to append the variable to this whole string. The variable is sum here, this one, correct? Or you, to remove your confusion, let's write it as summation. Okay, so this will be printed as it is, whatever you write inside inverted commas. Then I want to print the resultant value of a plus b, which is stored in sum. With using a plus operator, I am concatenating this string and this sum variable. So the output will be summation equal to 30. In this case, the sum value will be 10 plus 20, 30. I am saving the file. Now let's go to command prompt. Here, right? I'm again running python main.py. You don't need to type the entire command again. You just press up arrow or down arrow. It will show you the previous commands which you have run already. I just pressed up arrow. That's why it's showing the previous command. Python space main.py. I'm just pressing enter. So what happened? There is some issue here, right? What is showing? Can only concatenate str, not into to str, right? As I told you, whenever you write code, immediately you can see the error when you run it. So that's the beauty. And also it says at which line the error is. Inside main.py at line 9 we have error, correct? So what is our line 9? This is line 9, correct? So what it is saying is this is a string and this is a number. You cannot use plus operator between these two. So how do we solve it? What we can do is we can convert this sum to string. So how do you convert sum to string? So there is inbuilt function available. You just put the sum inside str. Okay, str is a function passing sum here. So the resultant value from str will be returned is string. Now I am saving this. Let's run it again. See, the first line printed as it is, and after that what we did, summation equal 30. So now this program is working as a calculator. You can do whatever you want. Let's see, multiplication a into b, correct? And division a divide b. Sorry. So I want to copy this line. Here I want to write mul. So I am interested in printing multiplication, multiplication of the two numbers. Again I want to copy this. I want to print division, right? I'm saving the file. Let's go to the command prompt. Now again run it, python main.py. See what all things you got. Summation 30, multiplication 10 into 20, 200, division 10 by 20 is 0.5. So you can do whatever you want. You can build a calculator using Python program. Okay. Yeah, I think that's it for today. We'll cover more in the coming sessions. I hope this tutorial is well helpful. If you don't understand anything, please write in the comments below. Okay, with that I'm going to end this session. Thank you all of you for your time.